So, paddle skills are new to a lot of kids. Not just in elementary school, but you go to middle schools and you see kids having trouble with paddles because it's hard. It's a short-handed implement. It's hard to do if you haven't been introduced to it at an early age. The very first thing in this game, it's a passing game. It's a team game. Most paddle skills are not. It's hitting it over the net, waiting for it to come back, get it back over net, right? This one we're actually passing. So we go to high schools, middle schools, and I always start with the move. Every single time. Because it gets them moving, it gets them understanding how to use the paddle. So in this game, the passing is all underhand passing. Most of it is underhand passing. And you'll have kids start, and they'll be doing it like this. With the back of their hand facing the ceiling, and they're trying to do a pass like this. You should flip it over, and it should be supine. So when we start with the balloon, we want to hit it underhand like this. Right? And you want to hit it in a sweet spot. So we always say sweet spot right at the button. Right there. You don't want to hit it real low unless you have to. You don't want to hit it really high because then you don't have as much control. You tell the kid to use the sweet spot, and the palm of your hand should be pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay? Good hand grip. However you want to teach holding a paddle, but you're going to do that. So right now we're going to start with orange team. So this game is split up into teams. You have orange paddles versus black. We're just going to do spread out with the orange team together and the black team together. And if this was, sorry, I have black paddles, but if this was my team, we're just going to alternate hits. You can't hit it 2 times in a row. Just to work on hitting the paddles. So real quick, we'll be back for about 30 minutes. So there should be 2 circles, an orange circle and a black circle. You guys can back up and get in your circles. One big song.
Did you play this yesterday? I did it. Oh my gosh. All right. I got to grab the deal.
Focus on that overhand swing. On upward shooting. And sweet spot. You want that balloon to come down towards the other button where you're going to hit it. That's the very first step. Because people will do it wrong and then you'll get into game plan and they'll already have these techniques that are wrong. So you want to start with that underhand swing right at the sweet spot on facing the ceiling. Now with this, we'll get into a game plan. Alright, so we'll use this table to begin. Thank you, thank you. So one of the balloons just put under the table, you're just going to use one balloon for right now. I'll take that one. When you spread out, you're going to spread out alternating around the table. So black, orange. Yep, right there. All right, so we got black team and orange team. The way you're going to start, dot ball. Dot is actually an acronym for down on the table. You're trying to get it down on the table. So you're going to start real close like this. Once the balloon or the ball hits off the table, it switches possessions to the other team. So now the orange team, when we use the balloon, you get as many hits as you need to get it back to the table. In the regular gameplay, it's 3 hits, bump, set, spike to return it. But we're going to start hitting it down on the table. Once it goes on the table, black team, we're out of the way because it's not our possession, right? So we're going to hit down on the table. Now it's the orange team. Every time it hits the table, it switches possessions, right? And we're going to try and pass it. So you're going to try and do the bump, set, spike, and hit it on. But if it hits the table, it switches possessions. So start with the serve, down on the table, bump, set, spike. Good. Bump, set. Oh, I missed it. So then it would be the other 2 points. So right now we're just going to work on that. Alternating hits, try to do bump, set, spike. Once it hits the table, switches possessions. We'll get a little game. We're trying to get it. Now we're going to do the progression with the ball. So, in the game, dot ball. Where's my orange? Come over here. So in the game of dot ball, it is the same as spike ball in the way of coming off the table, switching possession possessions to the other team, and they get 3 hits to return. In this game, you also get a bounce on the ground between each touch. That means touch to the table or touch with your paddle. So it gives everyone a little more time to read and react to what's happening instead of balling it and trying to keep it in the air, right? So with my group, I'm going to spread out. I'm going to hit it up in the air, and we don't want to pass it at the person. Our passes are kind of like a basketball pass, or a bounce pass in basketball, right? You kind of want to pass it in between you and your partner. You want to pass it up, she's going to let it bounce, and pass it up. Using those same techniques of underhand, up in the air. The paddles have a little pop right in the middle. You don't have to hit super hard, but this is kind of the work you want to do. If you can get your students in this game to utilize their bounce to slow it down, you're going to have success much quicker. If you get students doing this, trying to get it right away, it's a lot harder. Let's just try to ball it back to this end. You'll see, it gets crazy, right? This is kind of, so you have to tell your students, utilize your bounce. It slows it down for you, and it slows it down for your teammates. So right now, just get a little over the ball and have it bounce back and forth through groups of 3 in orange team and black team. So now we'll put one of the balls in the tip and circle around the table like you did with the blue. And we're going to play a little game, another build-up game. This one is dot ball catch. So one player on each team, just one, put your paddle underneath the table. So you should have 2 players with paddles, 1 without a paddle. Alright? So I'm going to use this person. The person that does not have the paddle, that's going to be their setter. Okay? So let's start with balls there. I'm going to bounce it out real quick so I can be your setter. So here's how it's going to work. You're going to serve down on the table. In regular tournament high-level play, it's 11 feet from the table as a service line. When you play with students, serve to a position of comfort, right? They can be right up on the table if they want. They're not going to do anything crazy. If Johnny starts doing some crazy hits left, right, over the top of people, say, hey, you got to back up a little bit. You're too good at serving now. Okay? But they will get the confidence with the serve right off the bat. So you're going to serve off the table. I'm on the orange team. You're going to pass it up. And then, so you're going to try and pass to the center. So the person without the ball is the center. All right? So you're going to try and pass to me. And I am the center catcher. When I catch it, now we're trying to pass to the hitters. The second most important rule after utilizing the bounce is set the table and eat at the table. As the setter, if I send it to my teammate and she's way back there, that's a hard hit, right? Or way back there. If you approach the table where you're going to eat, put your paddle up in the air, and I'm going to try and set it right over the top of the table right there, where you're going to hit it down switching possessions. If your students can understand those 2 rules, utilize the bounce, give them time, and set the table to approach the table where they're going to eat, they're going to pick it up real quick. So we're going to play a little game, dot ball set here. And you're trying to bump into me, right? I can utilize the bounce, make a catch. I'm going to hit it off. Bump, set, and now slow it down to the next side. Good. I'm going to catch, and I'm going to wait. If my team doesn't come up to the table, I'm not going to throw it, because I'm not going to give you a hard hit. I'm going to wait until it hits the table. Toss off, right? Nice. If the ball is right on the table, no good. If it hits the edge of the table, no good. It has to be one bounce clean off the table. Okay? After each point, switch to your set. Alright, let's finish off. Underhand set, where you're hitting overhand at the table, right? All passes underhand, hitting should be overhand down at the table. Approach the table where you have time to hit it. Also, it allows people time to get out of the way if it's not your turn, right? That's kind of a hard one. It's like, Okay, orange possession, then black possession. Every time it hits the table, it switches possession. So if the ball went onto the table and won, it switches possession to the other team. You can't touch it anymore, now it's the other team. Right? So, yeah, question.
Just to be clear, when we start the alternate, but then once it's gameplay, it's free for all. You don't have to be in any certain order, right?
Exactly.
You're
No
just
boundaries,
saying
no boundaries. So, you can kind of play in any spot. Parking lots, gyms, tennis courts, because there are no lines, right? Just like spike ball with that amazing ability to just set it down, start playing. So once the rallies happen, or once the serve goes, then it unlocks 360. You can run anywhere you want. Team that's on defense, you're just moving out of the way, trying to create angles where that ball is going to come off.
If you are in a congested space, like a small gym, and you have a lot of tables set up, you can do artificial boundaries where if somebody in flight hits the ball in another game, out of bounds. Now they're going to be more strategic with placement and less on power. That is one thing with the light set, because you're hitting it down on the ground, it does congest the game a little bit because your angles change versus hitting it across the table. So if you are in congested spaces, you can work in that space too. Just make sure you're not getting that cross traffic. We don't want anybody getting hurt.
You're going to be set up in the same way. You're going to serve down on the table, utilizing that same skill of downward swings, underhand passing, to hit it back onto the table. Serving in this game is a little different than any other game. If the orange team serves over the black team, you play out the point, someone will earn a point, be rally scoring. So say it was 0-1. And then the black team is actually going to rotate one position clockwise. So the server is going to serve all three receivers, whether they win the point or lose the point. And the idea behind that is everyone gets the same amount of serves, and everyone gets the same amount of receives. Alright, so it's very even. You don't have one kid up here smashing serves and acing everybody, and no one really winning because Johnny's just smashing serves. Or you have another kid that can't serve all that well. They serve once and they're done and they never get to serve again. So they're going to get to serve 3 times. Alright? So you play out the point. Let's see this team go real quick. Go bump, set the table, spike. If he misses it, you're going to serve again. Black team's going to rotate one spot clockwise. Orange team stays. Serving team will stay. You play out another point. Use your bounce to set the table. The 2 big things, right? Use your bounce to try and set the table. Rotate the table. It's always hard for me. Good. Bounce. Set. Nice. Perfect. Good. Use it. Alright. So that was their 3 points. Now it switches to the other team's serve. So you always have the orange team serving in the same spot. You always have the black team serving in the same spot. Alright, so let's try real gameplay, real serve rotation.